So far, for a long period of time, they enjoyed a great margin and great growth rate. But in the late 1990s, the customers are leaving the companies because the needs and wants of the customers changed from high performance products to low cost products. So in the first stage, they didn't catch up the changes of the changes of the customers' needs and wants. So that's why their growth stopped. But then after careful consideration, that means they did an extensive research or the extensive analysis, especially about the customer analysis. And then they may find the dramatic changes of the customer's needs and wants from high-performing products to low-cost products. And after careful consideration, the company subdivided the target customers and subdivided into two groups and provided different products and services to meet the needs of each target customers. So for a traditional loyal customers, they may still provide the high quality products, and they will focus on upgrading the quality of the products, or they may add new features to the existing products. And at the same time, they identified another group of the customers who are more sensitive to the price. Right? And then they try to develop other products, especially targeting to the price sensitive customers. And by developing a new product targeting the price sensitive customers, and then they could meet the needs of those two different target customers. So as a result, the company could recover from its long-standing deficit in 2005 and recorded a surplus of profit more than $600 million. So that's a simple story about Dow Corning case. So what's the implication we can draw from this case? So this is the result of sales by modifying the strategy to accommodate the changing needs of the customers in the market. So as we have gone through a lot of steps in developing the business strategies, we have to accommodate the changing needs of the customers in the market and try to incorporate that changes into developing the strategies. And who got those informations? We modify the strategies from focusing the high performing products to the cost sensitive or the low cost product. Okay, from high performing product to low cost products. We changed our strategies of the product strategies. Okay, how do they decide to modify the existing strategy to accommodate new changes of the market? Because the salespeople may get a lot of information from on-sites when they meet the customers, and then try to bring back such a precious information back to the main company, back to the headquarters in developing their strategies. So that's the result of the sales department or the sales forces. By modifying the strategy to accommodate the changing needs of the customers in the market. So Professor Cespedes has discovered the reality that in a lot of companies, the strategy is not aligned with the sales. And then he offered the solutions to align the strategy and the sales in his book of Aligning Strategy and Sales. Okay, so modifying the strategy according to the need, according to the objective data is one thing I would emphasize, and the other thing is that the aligning strategy and the sales, that is implementing the strategy as planned, is also very important lesson we may get from this book of Aligning Strategy and Sales by the Professor Cespedes. According to Professor Cespedes, companies need a process to effectively manage the performance cycle to align strategy and sales. So in my previous slide, and then Professor Cespedes noticed in many companies, sales and strategy and sales are not aligned with each other, and he provided a solution, that is that company needs a process to effectively manage the performance cycle from strategy to sales. Okay, this, if you see that the donut cycle, the cycle on your right hand side of this slide, and then it's showing the process to manage the cycle of performance from strategy to sales. Okay, there are 6 different steps. The first one is establishing a consistent strategy. Okay, so that's we have done so far. We spent a couple of the classes in developing the consistent strategies, right? And then now we are going one step further in implementing those strategies in the real business world, in the real areas, or in the areas where the sales are happening. The second step after we establish the consistent strategy is that sharing those strategies among members. So even though we have very great strategies through the systematic process of developing the strategies, if those strategies are not well shared among the members who would actually implement such strategies, it's in vain, right? A lot of misalignment between strategy and sales are happening just because the great strategies we have built are not shared among the members, especially the members who would implement such strategies. So sharing strategies among members are one thing we have to remember in aligning the strategy and the sales. And the next one, number 3, we have to remember is that the transition to actionable sales tasks. So once the salespeople have an understanding of what the new strategy is, that's not enough. They have to develop their own actionable tasks to implement such a great strategies. So that's related to developing the action plan in a smart way. So for each salespeople, they have to develop their own actionable tasks according to the strategies they are shared. Okay, and then number 4 is creating a plan for task performance. Okay, that's also related to the developing the action plan in a smart way. So their plan for task performances should be in accordance with the SMART principles. Be specific, be measurable, be actionable, be on a timely basis, and be relevant to the strategy they are shared. Okay, and then performance of the salesmen, who are the people who actually implementing the strategy, should be measured for sales activities. Okay, there should be performance measurement in place for sales activities, which should be aligned with the proposed strategies. And then after measurement of the performance, and the final step is that the assessment of the performance from the measuring the performance, and then provide the compensations based on the assessment of the performance for sales activities. Okay, so those are the entire cycle aligning the strategy and the sales. Okay, so that's all about the implementation, and that's all about what I said previously in developing the action plan smart way. Okay. Okay. The essence of the direction Professor Cespedes has suggested is pretty much the same as the concept of the action plan I proposed, and the concept of the SMART. Okay, so establishing good strategy is one thing, but more importantly, sharing such great strategy among the members and converting such a strategy into the actionable plan, and then actually conducting the businesses according to the action plan based on the performance is important. Finally, the performance should be assessed and compensated, whether they follow their action plan, which is developed by according to the strategies we developed. Okay, so by aligning the strategy to the actual implementation, and the company will just achieve the expected performances to achieve the target when we design the strategies. Okay, thank you very much, and this is almost the end of today's class. In today's class topic was action plan and implementation. The whole idea of this class is that strategy is important, but developing the action plan and implementation of the strategy is as important or more important than developing the strategy. Okay, thank you very much. And next class, I will talk about SWOT analysis. So throughout the entire course of this program, I developed a lot of the ways to develop the strategies, and I also introduced in each of the steps, I introduced the concept of the various of the tools which might be useful in developing the strategy. And I will introduce a little bit different aspect of developing the strategies. That's SWOT analysis. So thank you very much for listening to this class, and see you in next class. And okay, thank you very much again. And my picture. Okay, next class we will talk about the SWOT class. And we have actually 3 more classes to cover, and but the basic course to deal with about the building the strategy is over by the end of this class. Okay, thank you very much for listening my lecture, and see you next time. Okay, thank you. Bye.